kind of woman? I'm scared to ask your ass. What kind of woman would you tell your child? What kind of would you be expecting your child to bring home to you? What would be an accepting woman?
Someone that makes them happy.
Okay.
And that would be it. Because, for me to sit there and judge somebody, I try not to judge people. And as long as they're happy, then I'm happy for them. I don't want somebody to take I'm a little older, so I have children that are older, and they brought several people home that you could clearly see. He said the word opportunist, abusive. And I don't like that for my children. I want you to be happy. Overall, I want happiness for them. And so it doesn't matter, anything except for you being happy, because life is so it's challenging in itself. So why have your home life challenging? You should be happy, because with that you'll thrive. You could be you may not make a lot of money, but you could be the wealthiest man in the world if you're happy. I've always believed that. And or woman, because I have a lesbian daughter, by the way, and her relationships, it's always, you can see them, they're opportunists. She makes a lot of money, so they get in and they try to befriend the family, but then you see all the unhappiness and the tears and the nervous tics, and you're like, and all I ever wanted for them is just to be happy. It doesn't matter you make a lot of money. It doesn't matter. Be happy. It's so underrated,
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead with you, Cynthia. What do you tell? What kind of a person is accepting of you for your child?
For my child, which would also be for myself, is somebody who's similar to the parents that raised me, my father. And when I stepped beyond that and went to someone that was on a lower tier, I'm not going to say beneath me, but on a lower tier than my expectations, then that's what put me in the situations that I'm in. So I want my daughter to expect and understand who is supposed to be there for her and how she's supposed to be treated. As first, she has to treat herself better. So if she treats herself fine, then she'll find somebody that treats her well as well.
Okay. Joe.
If I had to really think about it, I would say it's along the lines of happiness, but I would go a little step further and say I would want somebody that makes my kid a better person. And why I say that is, you can meet somebody and they make you happy, but that to me is just not everything to me. Because you could be happy in a relationship and not even know the damage that it's doing to you, because you don't see it.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
A lot of people are in relationships and they all pretty much happy, but there's other things that's going on that's not supposed. Even as far as like financial, you could be happy with somebody, but they're bringing other things down, changing your whole lifestyle. And for me, it would have to be, you would have to make my kid a better person, bringing something to the table, not just, him supporting you or her supporting you, and that's it. Because there's more to it than that. It's more than, love is just not enough for me. It got to be a whole lot more that comes with that. It's not just a noun, it's a verb. So you have to do things that's going to make my kid happy, but also make them a better person.
Okay.
It's supposed to be improvement from the time before he met you, or him or her, and the time after. So if I could see that improvement, I'm like, oh, okay, that person came into your life
right,
and changed it. That's a beautiful thing.
Right, I get that. I would love to see that too. Like, I would love to see, growth in my child, because, and especially, good growth.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Good growth
Good
for my child, for if somebody came and made him happiness and inspired him to do better. So I get it, and I appreciate that answer. Chantal.
For my child, I think someone that is, I wouldn't say opposite of me, but not like me.
Okay.
Because when you dumb yourself down or lower your frequency so much that you have to, not have to, but you put up with so much unnecessary stuff, it has it changes the way you think about things. And if they can eliminate that part, I don't want someone to come into my kids' life that'll let them just do whatever, or that'll just keep putting up with whatever for so long that finally you like, listen, what's really going on? Like, are you, do you really want to be here? Do they want to be here? Like, set a standard from the beginning. And that was, me. I didn't. So for them, I want you to bring somebody home that will set a standard and hold you to that. Be accountable for your actions, for what what you do, what you say, how you treat them, because people don't just want you to, do whatever. I don't want you to come home with somebody that'll let you do whatever, run over them, walk up. Not to say that that I'm a run over or a pushover, but when you have someone that's so tough but gentle,
Right.
you kind of get caught up in a kind of sticky situation where you're able to walk out, but you don't do it. Why, you don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows. But I want them to come home with somebody that's not like me, and that'll hold them accountable from day one. Just set your standard, and if this is not it, you go. You're not stuck to nobody. You're not trapped with nobody. You're not married. You don't have no kids. You don't have nothing. Whatever it is, you don't have to be with this person. So just come in and show my kid what they are supposed to do, what the right thing is to do. If you can't or they can't accept, everybody just go where they're going.
Okay. All right. I totally understand that, John.
For my child, when it's time to have, I guess this conversation with my son, because I have a son, I want him to be challenged. And when I say challenged, I want somebody that's going to, not let him walk over them or vice versa. I want them to challenge one another and to push one another. In 31 years on this earth, if I haven't learned one thing, is that when you deal with somebody that pushes you and that makes you, when they put the bar here and they tell you go get it, and then you go get that, then they move it up and they tell you go get it again.
Right.
That does nothing but make you excel at life. And even if it's not major things, it makes you a go getter. It makes you look at things differently. It makes you do things differently and work harder and go about things differently. And even when you're in a relationship with somebody, challenge somebody.
Right.
Make that person, why make it easy for a person? Even for ladies, challenge that guy. Don't, just because y'all going out, still challenge them. Guys, challenge her. You know what I mean? And, if they can challenge one another and, it can be, I never want to see my son stagnant in anything that he does. You know what I mean? So if he can, if you can find somebody that can challenge you mentally, they can stimulate you. That's who I want my son to be with. I want my son to be with somebody that's always going to keep him on his toes and and keep him, make sure he's always witty. The moment you can relax and you get comfortable, things go bad sometimes when you get comfortable because you get set.
Okay.
And you settle.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Last but not least.
I have to go with Chantel. I have all four of my kids are of dating age. My oldest one is 25. My youngest one is 18. And I tell my son all the time, I don't want them to date women like me because I am an enabler. I want them to date people to challenge them as well, to make them want to do better for themselves, because even though I raised them to be independent, the boys and the girls, and stand on their own, they still look for that lack. And I don't want them to get complacent with anyone. I don't want them to be in relationships where the woman is taking care of everything, and then when they leave, now you are messed up. So I don't want them to be an enabler like I am. So I tell my sons not to be with women that's like me, for them to be with women that were better than me, somebody that they would think, well, my mom would love you because you're totally the opposite of her. Like, you challenge me, you make me do more, you make me want to do better. As far as my daughters, I tell them, don't look for guys that's going to disrespect them, that's not going to want to give them or give to them or want to make them a better person. Don't never be with somebody where they think that your career stands in the way of your relationship. Because to me, I would put my career before a relationship first. So if I had to do that and choose, I would tell them to pick somebody totally the opposite of who I am.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I get it and understand. Well, I guess you guys want to know what I would tell my child. I would tell him, don't bring home no thoughts. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, that's just a natural conversation. I want somebody, to be honest, really quickly. My son had a girlfriend, and I was in love with this little girl. If he don't marry you, you can stay with me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I was in love with this little girl. She had such a good head on her shoulders. She was going to college. The only thing that kind of shook me up a little bit is she was so young. She had 2 little girls. But I didn't say, because it's somebody else that doesn't, because you have children, that does not make you not a good person. So I wanted my son to have somebody, or I still want my son to have somebody that encourages him, that gives him like so much support, because I feel like, you know, if he ever finds himself, you know, by himself, if he finds himself by himself, I want him to take from that relationship and learn from it. So support him through the relationship, so you know that even if I leave you, you understand what I'm saying, that you're still gonna be okay. You can do it by yourself. So yeah, I just want my son to have someone that supports him. I'm sorry, I know y'all keeping it cool and everything, but I want my son girl to have money. I'm sorry, but I do. Don't bring no broke chicks in here. I'm sorry, but I do. And I'm not being, it's just the thing about it is I've learned and I've watched that money is the root to all evil. And I just want her to have her own, so you not going after what my son is going to accomplish. You understand what I'm saying? Like, have your own shit, so you ain't got to, I'll tell him, yes, tell my son, I don't need you. I'm like, she don't need you. Come on.
But that's going back to what I was saying. What happened if she makes him happy?
Well, if she makes him happy, they ain't gonna break up. You understand what I'm saying?
But she might not have money.
But listen, if I would prefer. I'm not telling him that's, you know, I'm not gonna tell him don't mess with no broke chick.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I would prefer you didn't.
What if she's broke and she does, like John said, inspire him to
I'm
do
happy for
great,
that.
And Joe said, and then. You know,
But why you inspiring my son? Inspire yourself to go get a damn job. I'm just saying.
People grow together. Young people grow together. You got to remember. Look, we're lucky that we have good jobs, but we didn't start with these guys with good jobs.
Listen,
we
hold
started
on.
at the
I'm
bottom
not
like everybody
taking that.
else.
Hold on. I'm not saying because she don't have no money. But here's the thing. Because I am where I am, I want you to be here too. It's not okay. Right. That's what it is. Right.
But
like I'm asking you to I'm not saying if she start out broke, all I'm saying is this. If you do deal with a chick that's broke, just make sure she's working toward it. You know what I'm saying?
Even though you work at Wawa, tell me that you
Right.
No, listen, seriously, in all seriousness, even though you working at Wawa, let me know you putting in applications other places.
Right.
Let me know you
Right.
are
Right.
attempting. You know,
Yeah,
let me know you just not aiming to be store manager.
But
You understand what I'm saying?
But at the same time, when we having this conversation, we also got to look at making sure that our children is offering something to the table
right.
too.
That's a
Exactly.
great.
So we asking for, I want my kid to have
But
this, I
that
want
start
my
at
kid
home.
to have that. Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. We
Bro.
got to make sure that they're geared
Oh,
to.
for sure. But if everything you sat here and you preach, if everything you sat here and you said is how you are and is what you are,
Right.
that's
That's not a
you know,
definite.
no, it is.
I have a daughter, right, that, like I said, all she strives to be is ghetto fabulous. Right? She's been given opportunities. She's been raised properly. She has other siblings that are successful, and all she cares about when we move into a nice neighborhood, you know, she does.
Well, see, that tends to happen in when you have multiple kids. That tends to happen.
Well, it's not a rebel. She's
Right, I'm just saying that just
she's-
tends to happen. You have the good
Look,
kid,
if she wasn't
the
my
smart
daughter, I
kid,
would've
the
told her.
athletic kid. It just always happens.
But why gravitate towards the ghetto? I mean, look, man, I'm from the hood.
What's wrong with the ghetto?
Maybe
That's where you
A
start. It's
lot
not
of
where you
people
end
come
up.
from the ghetto.
I came from the ghetto.
Maybe she.
I got the scars.
maybe she
Jay-Z
relates-
came from the
maybe
goddamn
she
ghetto.
relates
Is
to
he hanging out there? Is he hanging out there?
Maybe
He go back.
it's not really the ghetto that she's looking at.
Nah,
Maybe
she-
she relates to the people because
Right.
they have a humbleness that you can't
Preach it,
touch
Joe.
It's not
outside of that.
I know
I'm
my
just saying
kid.
it could be
Come
anything.
with
It's
it.
not all the time just she just want to hang out with the ghetto. That's real.
Right, that's
It gotta
what
be. It gotta be a
relates to.
reason.
Hey, T, I'm gonna be honest with you. I live in Philadelphia. I'm born and raised South Philadelphia. From the hood, South Philadelphia. I live in Delaware County. I live with the other folks. but I still go back to South Philly. I still got people there,
But-
and
right,
I still.
But why? Because maybe
I live in Delaware County because
I
wasn't always-
No.
It's somewhere.
I'm saying you might
but
find
I go
something.
back
Go
because
back.
I'm comfortable in South Philly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
always
your
comfortable.
daughter is
I wasn't
comfortable there.
always this choir boy you see before you.
I never even thought that. But okay.
But
As
my
long
point
as
is
she ain't
this.
breaking the damn law.
Well, let's see. She what was it? 500.
We're not gonna. You not.
500.
No. You're not gonna say that your daughter. She'd be like, her daddy.
Oh no, she'd be out there going, "That's right, I did it."
No.
Am I lying? She's that good. She stabbed a girl in the face.
You're on-
500 and stuff. Yeah, well, she.
Stop.
We're gonna delete that.
Rat.
No.
Stop ratting on
She
her.
she got busted. She went to jail. She got probation.
Yeah, we're gonna delete that anyway.
But what
Yeah,
I'm
you was in
saying,
there telling
some
my
people
business.
some people strive to underachieve. Is what I'm
Right.
saying.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
because you come from a family that showed you how to work
Right.
and showed you how to make your means, and all you strive is to get over
Get
on
by.
the system,
Okay.
and it's not good.
Is she your first?
Yes.
Don't worry, it's times I don't talk to my son. He's 6.
I'm
He's told me
done.
that.
Well, she's 35.
Well,
He's
guys.
done.
And,
So he comes out of time out. Cut off.
you know what I'm
Done.
saying? When you're like this, like drama is draining, and no matter where you go, this chick finds drama. It don't matter what we're doing. Like there's always something. And not that I'm. You know, look, man, I'm the first guy to fight. You know, I'm the first. Before somebody came up here and get stupid, I'd be the first guy to get up and going. But I don't look for trouble. I don't. I go out of my way to avoid it. And this is a lifestyle like welfare and how do you measure? We measure success by our careers and your apartment or your house or whatever. She measures success by look how much food welfare gave me, and that's not acceptable to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my last question. But thank you for that comment. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my last question, guys.
So you got like 22 minutes
What
to edit
have
out.
you learned here today that will help you have more understanding toward men and women, to appreciate them more, so to speak? So I will stop here. Well, you know what? We'll just go around the table. We'll start with you. Am I picking on you? You want me to start at the other end? We can start with John. Go ahead, John. We'll go-
Fine. I got 3 closers. What can I take from this that'll make me appreciate? You can always, for me, I can always speak for me. I can always appreciate somebody else's point of view and understand why they feel the way they feel the way they feel, how they feel the way they feel, and we can always a gentleman, you can shake hands to agree to disagree. So even though I may not agree, and again, I'm not picking on you, I may not agree with how you go about things, I can understand it, and I can agree to
I
disagree.
feel like you're picking on the butt.
No, and that's the thing. Even Chantel, when she came, because my table set, my table set too. So now we got double everything. What are you saying? There's something that you're missing that I don't, that I can provide. There's something that my table's missing that you can provide. True. So there's always room, no matter how big of a table you bring, no matter how set you bring your table. There's always something on this table that I'm forgetting.
Okay.
And there's always something on your side of the table that you didn't bring either. I got the pepper, you got the salt, and now let's tango.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Moving along. Joe,
They wanna know.
just really quickly.
Really quickly.
Really
I
quickly.
think
Tell me
that
what you've learned.
I learned that-
gives you a better understanding of women.
I learned from the situation here that men and women, I think, want the same things. I just think that men are less tolerant of trying to get those things. Women put in more time and more energy into seeing where it's going to go. Patience, like I was talking about earlier. I don't think it's so much difference in, like, you want a woman who's doing this, a woman who's doing that, a woman who got her career together, a woman who has, pretty much her life together. She's smart, she's intelligent, I get it's mental, physical attraction and sexual attraction. I think, men want that and women want that. I just think that women put in more time into the relationship
The tolerance
to see where it's going to go.
in a woman.
Right.
Okay.
I think some men, they put the time in a lot less and we're able, and we want to just switch it up real quick. Like, okay, this ain't going nowhere because we realize that. We realize situations early. Now we might stay, but
I believe that.
we also in our mind already know she's not wifey. We can make that determination
And I believe
early.
that. And I, you know what? Dag, I wish this wasn't in this conversation because we should have touched that a lot sooner because I totally believe that women tend to lag on realizing this ain't Mr. Right.
Right.
We tolerate more. We drag it along. But I'm gonna thank you.
But going back to what I was saying,
I'm sorry,
basically,
go ahead.
basically put it, you know, the bottom line is I think we want the same things. I just think that we just put the timing that we put into the relationship is a little bit different, and the expectations are too.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I think I've learned that maybe I'm a little too stern and a little too caught up my own ways.
Okay.
You know, and I should probably think a little more about other people because I have become selfish in my old age.
Okay.
And you know, even though I wasn't raised that way, and I feel right doing it because it's my turn, but then I don't at the same time. And listening to your situation, I realized that maybe I should think a little more about other people than just myself. Because you know, as much as I want to be selfish, because this world is making me this way, I also know I wasn't raised that way, and I was raised to be a really good guy, you know. And I'm like, you know, but don't get me wrong, I'm probably not going to change.
But are you aware?
No, but
you realize
but I'm not,
Yeah, brother. There's something to the back of my mind.
the whole conversation, you know, it's food for thought. It's actually like what you're kind of going through, I'm going through kind of. So it's like, you know, it's giving me food for thought. It's making me think like, okay, maybe, you know, some things need adjustment also because, like, you kept bringing it up, growth.
Right.
And even at 52, I could grow.
Oh yeah,
Not a day
as long as you're breathing, brother, you can grow.
Trust me, I'm a grower, not a
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Moving right along. Chantel, what have you learned here today that will make you have a better understanding of men?
For one, just don't lower your frequency for it, because even though you feel like you're the only person that may do the 90-10, you're not. And there are people who give more than, you know, the 90-10 that are willing to meet you halfway. You just have to kind of know when to walk away and when to
Fold. I'm joking.
You gotta know when to walk away. You gotta know when to apply the pressure to see if it's actually gonna go to where you want it to go. So, not to say, you know, you have to walk in knowing. Just know what you want from the jump. Just know what you. Don't be so willing to compromise or fold or break what you believe in because you think the potential of somebody else may.
Actions speak louder than words.
They do, which is why don't let that potential fool you. So if it's only potential, you're gonna need a little more than that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Sylvia?
I'm gonna jump off of that.
Okay.
The potential part. Like I said earlier, he had potential. I loved him, and I wanted to be there with him, and it took me that long to let it go. And then hearing someone say, "Why did you lower your standards?" Because I never thought that I lowered my standards, but to hear it come out of somebody else's mouth and it be a male to tell you lowered your standards, it hits home. And I've been here on this planet for a long time, but that hit home.
Okay.
So that makes me realize that I need to love myself a little bit more and not lower what I expect from somebody, but still giving that 110%.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
And I'm going to hit on it and the same. I'm not going to lower my standards anymore. I'm not going to settle for anything. If you can't meet me 50-50, then that's it. No more.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad. I'm glad that that's what you're taking from it. And I hope that everything this conversation we talked about today, I hope everybody takes home something that can help them appreciate men and women a little bit more than they did before we sat down here. I will throw in my last 2 cents.
Come on, Jerry.
Yes,
Let's
my
go,
thoughts. But what I've taken for this conversation, and I do appreciate all the comments and all the things that you guys said. I do feel like Joe, you hit it out the park for me with some of the things that you said. I will take into consideration that, you know, everybody is different. Everybody is not the same way. I feel like that before, it's gonna be hard for me to learn, but before I go ahead and throw them away, I know this is gonna be strange for y'all here, but before I go ahead and throw them away, I can tolerate a little bit. I can try to reason or rationalize with what somebody is feeling before I can, because I've been the art. He ain't working. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm that person, and I'm telling you, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I've learned from my dad. My dad taught me. You don't need anybody else. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're pretty. I tell myself I'm pretty, so I don't have to wait for a man to tell me that. So I had started this thing where I was doing like, you know, am I right? Do I look okay? Do I, this, that, and the third? So that led me into this thing where I was saying, you know what, forget him. I don't need him. I don't this, that, and the third. But I will learn and tolerate a little bit more and try to get a better understanding before I just start throwing people away, because I may miss out on my Mr. Right. And I do appreciate that comment. With that being said, thank you guys for joining me on my 5th episode of The People Have Spoken. Real people with real opinions, and good ones they were tonight. So thank you guys once again for joining me. The People Have Spoken. Once again, I am Stephanie, your host. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification button so I will notify. I'm drinking.
It's all right.
Because I'm like, wait a minute. So you'll be notified when my next episode